I was addicted to guava nectar. Breadfruits get really big. This is actually what it looks like. And you're going, no, it's not brown. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gut Instincts. I'm your host, Dr. Jocelyn. Today, we're diving into a tropical paradise of flavors with exotic fruits. These fruits not only tantalize your taste buds but also offer a wealth of benefits for your gut health. But are all exotic fruits good for your gut? Let's find out. I'll be ranking these exotic foods from S to FS stands for superfood, and F means it belongs in the trash. But before we dive in, make sure to click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to enhance your gut health with me first. Dragon fruit. Now, dragon fruit has actually been shown to improve weight loss by, among other things, improving good bacteria in your gut. Now, don't be afraid of it and don't be scared of it, but dragon fruit is really an important weight loss tool that really is neglected if you can find it. And yes, it's quite expensive. It's well worth trying it out. It actually gets an S for all of its health benefits. How about Goji berries, those little darlings of all health, nut everywhere. Here's the bad news. Goji berries are part of the nightshade family and they actually are loaded with lectins, so despite all the hype, they're a no-no and belong in the trash. Now how about a cousin of Lychee, Rambutan, called Rambutan? You often see these, they're also very expensive. These are native to Southeast Asia. Rambutans can help build a resilient digestive system and can even help reduce constipation. Now this exotic fruit is packed with nutrients like vitamin B5, which helps your body convert food into energy. It's also a great source of vitamin A, vitamin C, potassium, calcium, folate, and choline. So it's actually, if you can find it, a great fruit, except it's also really expensive. Alright, how about star fruit? These are actually becoming more and more common, and star fruit also have compounds that feed your good gut. Buddies, the nice thing about star fruits is that they actually have very low fructose content. And so star fruit is right up there with the good stuff. It's not super, but it deserves an A as well. Passion fruit, probably one of my favorite on this list, is passion fruit. In fact, I like them so much, I actually grow them in my own yard, the seeds and all that jelly-like stuff inside. The passion fruit is loaded with polyphenols and loaded with soluble fiber, so if you can find passion fruit, it is well worth eating. In fact, interestingly enough, when I'm in the south of France and in parts of Italy, when passion fruit is in season, it is considered one of the must-have items that you can get in a restaurant, so I happen to put passion fruit way up there on a superfood. Next up, durian. Now, durian is a large, spiky fruit from Southeast Asia that has actually been banned in public places due to its very strong smell, and when I was a raw vegan way back in the day, durians were prized by raw vegans, except you could almost get no one to eat it because of the smell. Now, if you can tolerate that unique smell, it's actually very high in vitamin A, C, and B complex vitamins, including folic acid, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, and vitamin B6. So it's really a nutrient-dense fruit. It's also a prebiotic and supports digestive function and colon health. It is loaded with dietary fibers and supports overall gut health. It's super, but quite honestly, it's an acquired taste. So I'm going to give it a C. You really have to work at liking it. Mangosteen. Mangoes are grown in Thailand. Malaysia, the Philippines, and India. Mangoes are rich in fiber, which aids in the growth of healthy bacteria. Now, this food also has antibacterial compounds that can actually help get rid of bad bacteria in the gut. The other benefit is it's low in calories and provides many essential nutrients, including vitamin B, vitamin B9, vitamin B1, vitamin B2, manganese, copper, magnesium, protein, calcium, and vitamin C. These are so highly prized in Asian communities that it turns out there are some really cool polyphenols in mangoes as well that really deserve your attention, and if you're lucky enough to live near an Asian grocery store, try some mangoes, you won't be disappointed. I'm putting those up with a group guava. Funny story. About guava, so there are many guavas. Guavas grow extremely well in Southern California. We see them in the summer in most farmer's market. When I was a pediatric heart surgeon, I was addicted to guava nectar. I had to have my can of guava nectar now. Unbeknownst to me, back in those days, guavas, depending on the variety, are full of sugar, and guava nectars are just a giant can of sugar. Some of the smaller guavas are actually tasty and are loaded with polyphenols, but be careful about the sugar content. So I'm going to put these down at C depending on the guava. They can be good and bad. So lees are another lychee prized fruit in Japan when I visit, and also in China I visit. If people want to show me respect, they'll often give me a bag of lychee, and that's because they are prized for feeding good gut bacteria. They're full of soluble fiber, and lees also have several polyphenols, and they don't have much sugar, so they're joining this crow. You might notice that a lot of these are actually quite small, and that may be a tip off that. That's a good thing for you, but there are other things that are actually quite large that are also good for you. Jackfruit. Jackfruit has recently gotten popular as a meat substitute. In fact, you can't there's jackfruit. You can't go to any store or health food store and not find some jackfruit. That is meat Lychee. Be careful with these. Many of these jackfruit products unfortunately are loaded with sugar. Jackfruit by itself, it tastes okay, but because it absorbs other flavors, it's used to mimic barbecued meats, etc. because you can put just about any flavor on it. The nice thing about jackfruit is it's low in calories but high in fiber, which makes it a useful fruit for that purpose. So jackfruit is right up there as well, and things you should seek out. The golden berry. Golden berry is native to Chile and Peru. Golden berries, unfortunately, are part of the nightshade family. This fruit, though, does have research that it fights inflammation, does have fiber, it does have vitamin C and niacin. They also support bone health, improve vision, and boost immunity. And in fact, in the south of France and in Italy, golden berries often appear on plates as a kind of after-dinner treat. But beware, it's a nightshade, so I'm going to put it in D. Have one. Please? Be careful. Alright. Cacao pod. Here's everybody's favorite cacao pods. Now this is actually what it looks like, and you're going, no, it's not brown. Well, cacao is fermented, so that brown is actually what these little seeds look like when it's ferment, but this is actually what it looks like. The beauty of cacao is, it is loaded with polyphenols. It's loaded with brain-enhancing compounds. The fermentation takes this to superfruit heights. Just beware. Chocolate isn't chocolate. You want to look for extra dark chocolate with the higher the cacao content, and sadly, if you see the words in cocoa powder Dutched or alkali, that means that all the polyphenols, all the benefit have been removed. So if you can find it fermented, the darker the better, and I personally actually put raw ground cacao into my coffee every day for those benefits. The kumquat. Now the kumquat is a citrus family, but unlike most citruses, you can actually eat it whole. Now why should you do that? Yes, it's quite tangy. But the peel of citrus actually contains most of the beneficial compounds, including compounds that starve bad bacteria and compounds that actually improve your liver phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification enzymes. So if you can find them, and you often see them in farmers market about this time of year, buy some kumquats. They're actually great, sliced, thinly put into salads. You can even cook with them. There's a lot of recipes throwing kumquats in with a chicken dish. If you find it, give it a try. It's a really fun citrus fruit. It's a super fruit as far as I'm concerned. That's why I grow it breadfruit now. Breadfruit originated in New Guinea, the Molucca Islands, and the Philippines. Now breadfruit is rich in vitamin C and provides a moderate amount of potassium. It's really high in fiber. Now breadfruit can actually help improve gut health and digestion. This fruit also contains a great number of antioxidants to help with inflammation. There's a movement of foot because of climate change to get breed fruit into everyone's diet because it's profoundly adaptable. When I did mission work in Brazil, I was given breadfruit really by everyone who took care of me, and it grows fantastically in hot climates and hot humid climates, so you're going to see breadfruit more and more available, and thankfully there's more and more recipes for preparing breadfruit. If you can find it, it's well worth trying about breadfruit. It's time for a quick quiz. Now here are 2 facts and 1 lie about breadfruit. Can you guess? Which one is the lie? Breadfruit is 71% water. Breadfruit is grown in 20 countries. Breadfruit trees can grow to a height of 85 feet. You ready? The answer is 2. Breadfruit is actually grown in at least 90 countries. And yes, breadfruits get really big. I visited them in person in Brazil. Alright, back to business. Persimmons. Simmons are right up there with my super fruits. They have a very low sugar content. They're loaded with polyphenols. The problem with prawns, and I grow prawn in my yard, is I have patients who have wonderful prawn trees, and all they eat is persimmons for weeks at a time when they become ripe. And all I can tell you is that you eat a lot of prawns, I will see it in your blood work by your insulin levels going up. and your hemoglobin A1C going up a little goes a long way, but it's a great fruit. And the good news about persimmons is they're really only available once a year, and that's one of the keys for really selecting any of these is you really want to select them in season, not year-round if I had room on A's, but because of some of my experience with my patients, I'm giving it a beak. Just be Açaí, careful, the Açaí berry. Now, this is everybody's darling and health food. Quite frankly, an Açaí bowl is not what you're looking for. Açaís are loaded with a polyphenol called anthocyanin, but so many people, when they get an Açaí bowl, yeah, there's some Açaí juice or Açaí ball, but it's loaded with all sorts of things that you don't want. I've seen it served with oat, I've seen it served with rice, but Açaí berries, if you can find them, and often we can find them, frozen, are just loaded with great polyphenols. Ají bolno, ají fruit, yes, papayas. Now papayas are a double-edged sort. Papayas are high in sugar content. They're actually fairly low in fructose. They have more glucose than fructose. Most fruits, unfortunately, have more fructose than glucose, and papaya is a rich source of soluble fiber. One of the easy ways to eat papaya is to have it green. Green papaya salads are fantastic. Green papaya can be eaten, but it's much better shredded if you're going to have a papaya. Please don't go overboard, because once again, I see my patients when they come back from Hawaii and they've been eating papaya for breakfast for 3 weeks, and I can see it in their blood work, so it's something to be careful with, but it has, when it's raw and not fully ripe, has great health benefits. It's one of the favorite foods of your gut buddies to eat. Custard apple, Cherimoya. How about a custard apple now? In the Southern California, we call them chimas. They're originating from South America and the West Indies. Now, custard apples were called custard apples because they kind of have a vanilla scent. They're rich in fiber, they're rich in vitamin C, they're rich in vitamin B6, potassium, and antioxidants, and as a result, help support digestion. Now, I actually really like these, and I buy them, but my wife hates them, and it's because of a texture thing. The reason they're so popular is that they're really good for your gut, so if you see them, buy them. They would be kind of up on a, but I'm going to put in B because I ran out of room, you probably. Horned melon started to see this. It's called a horned melon now. It's native to southern Africa. And this fruit helps prevent bloating, constipation, reduces cramps, and has the potential to guard against colon cancer and gastric ulcers. This fruit is also known for regulating cholesterol levels. Like I say, we're beginning to see this. So if you see it, try it out. It's got some real utility. Again, sadly, so many of these exotic fruits are really expensive, but if you see them, give them a try. It's right there in the A and B rim. Finally, loquats. I have several loquats in my yard, and Santa Barbara now. It was introduced in south-central China and grown in Japan. The low quality is low in sodium and high in vitamin A, vitamin B6, dietary fiber, potassium, and manganese. Now, the leaves of the fruit can also be used to make herbal tea. They're high in dietary fiber and aid in digestion while promoting a feeling of fullness. So if you see loquats, or even if they're growing by the roadside in Santa Barbara, try a few. It has a taste that you'll either love or maybe not so much, but well worth trying if you see them, and luckily we're beginning to see them more in farmers markets, so it's right up there. Okay, so now for a quick recap. Well, we got some real super fruits: a dragon fruit, passion fruit, cacao, gu, loquat, and ají berries. But remember, you don't want acai bowls, please. And then we've got a whole listing of A+, A- B+ fruits that are well worth seeking out, except they're pretty doggone expensive. Then you've got the fruits that are pretty easy to find, like pawns, like papayas, like chimas. Be careful on some of these because they eventually will catch up with you in the sugar. Guava. Please stay away from guava nectar. I learned my lesson, but there are some very interesting antioxidants in guava and durian. Be careful, folks, don't bring it home and open it in the kitchen. It'll stink for quite a while. Look for these little guys, the golden berries. Just be careful, they are a nightshade. And Goji Berries are nightshades, and that is my gut instinct. Now, if you enjoyed this episode of Gut Instincts, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Let me know in the comments which exotic fruit you're excited to try. Remember, eat smart, feel great. I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for your love. Stay with us for more information.